Bang Ilonggo.
Please subscribe
And like.
and share.
Morning, should I call you Congressman Leland Oreta already?
Yeah.
Sir, good morning. Ross Del Rosario was a Filipinas, and also, as mentioned by Sir Robert, I'm the founder of Umalahokan. It's a series of workshops that we provide to our youth to empower them to become more critical thinkers para hindi sila masyadong apektado ng fake news and disinformation. So, what I like about you, sir, is you rose from the ranks and then you have a great educational background. So what can you say about yung mga biglang tumakbo agad sa higher position? Hindi na dumasa, like, unlike you, dumaan kayo sa counselor, di ba? And then you studied very well. Ang dami yung ganda ng mga background nyo, educational background nyo. So, kasi yung iba, biglang ang taas agad ng pwesto eh. So, any feedback on that?
Ross, I think that's your prerogative. Sa akin kasi, iba-iba yung kalagayan natin sa buhay. Iba-iba yung pinagdadaanan natin. So, like for example, my cousin, si Bam, he was never a congressman. He never held a local position. He became senator right away. But si Bam naman, growing up, bata pa siya, pinapakyaw niya lahat ng medalya sa eskwelahan. Pag sinabi mong academics, parang siya na yun. Kasi lahat ng awards sa kanya. So, iba-iba. Ako, I have to admit, I wasn't a good student growing up. No? I was just getting by. In fact, ang main strategy ko, magdadasal ako na pumasa. And nagpapasalamat ako sa Panginoon, lagi ako pumapasa. I only got to study talaga, nag-aral lang talaga ako. Talagang seryoso ako nag-aral when I went to boarding school. And I was mandated, meron an hour 30 minutes, 3 hours a day, uupo ka sa desk. So, pwede ka matulog, pwede mo gawin kahit ano, but since bakit pa ako matutulog? Doon na ako. Mag-aaral na lang ako. So doon lang talaga, wow, taas pa na, kaya ko, may kakayahan pala ako. That's when I realized, uy, may kakayahan pala ako. Hindi pala ako, pag nag-aaral lang pala ako, I apply myself. Meron pala may bunga. So iba-iba tayo. So I respect everyone kasi iba-iba yung pinagdadaanan natin. And it's everyone's prerogative kasi talaga, there's some people blessed na agad-agad, may ganon. Ako lang kasi napagdaanan ko, ako naman, stepping stone, lahat it happens for a reason. And now, iba na nga takbo ko. It's a whole new challenge for me. And I'm just ready to take on that challenge.
Thank you, sir. Another question is, incidentally, I was one of the resource person na-invite sa TRICOM, sa House of Representatives. Their probe on fake news. So I was one of the resource person na invited. I was there on the first hearing, the second hearing, pero sa third hearing wala po ako doon kasi po they were already interviewing or invited yung mga the suspected fake news peddlers. Kilala naman po natin, di ba? They call them the BDS bloggers. So kasi sir, what is the objective of the hearing is to probably regulate. Gusto nila magkaroon ng regulation daw sa mga vloggers nga po. Pero in my case, I believe kasi na because kaya po nangyayari yung easily pagkalat ng fake news is because yung mga kababayan natin, they're not really well informed. And then nagkalat nga po yung mga information na we're so gullible. So do you think na mas maganda po just to empower the people, to educate them or give them more, become critical thinkers nga po, para hindi po sila maging victim ng mga fake news?
Kuya Ross, tingin ko well, basot na daya yata ako sa'yo, so I shouldn't call you Kuya, no? No, but I think we're walking at a tight slope kasi yan nga yung problema ng grappler, di ba, ni Maria Ressa. She was saying it's a delicate slope that we need to walk in. And sabi nga, education, but it's a lot of things You have to interconnect things. Kasi kahit tayo na, parang kala natin nakapag-aral tayo, minsan naisahan tayo ng fake news. Di ba? Sabi, like one time I was looking for someone, kala ko, some celebrity, sabi kasi may news na patay na. Yung pala buhay pa. No? So, we have to be, I don't know how we can really be discerning with regards to that. But maybe we just don't take one source, several sources. And sana credible sources na ito kilala sa magaling to. Yun ang I think yung susi dyan eh. But sad to say nga, madami nga tweeting sa Facebook. Kala nila, pag galing sa Facebook, naglagay, yun na yung Bible truth. So, saan ba galing yan? Is that, even mga dyaryo ngayon, madali maglagay, di ba? Sa dyaryo, parang, ano ba, credible ba to? Where did this come from? So, we should be discerning with those type of things. And I don't know how to do that effectively on a wider scale. Baka, I think more collaboration, maybe si Rackler would have ideas on that as well. Na kailangan should be brought out to the forefront. Sabi nyo nga, investigation sa Congress, baka kailangan, ano ba yung solution para dyan? They should come up with all these solutions para to curb fake news.
Sabi nga nila, sir, intelligence is different from wisdom, di ba? Kahit gaano kataas ang ating educational background, kung hindi naman tayo wise, talagang hindi natin ma-discern or talagang ma-evaluate kung ano yung which is right and differentiate from wrong, napakahirap na ako, di ba, ma-discern. So, yung nga po, sir, I wish na pag nasa Congress na kayo, you'll be more, kumbaga, more open-minded on this.
Actually, Ross, being in public service for 15 years, ano ka lang sa akin, kailangan bukas ang isipan natin sa lahat ng bagay. Yun, di naman ako all-knowing. In fact, ang kala kasi ng tao pag na-elect ka na, alam mo may solusyon ka sa lahat. Hindi ganun yun. More than anything, I think kailangan marunong ka makinig. Kasi by listening, doon ka nagkakaroon ng solusyon. Sometimes, pinagdadasal ko yung solusyon, minsan dumadating, minsan hindi. So, kailangan, you have to work with the people around you. You form a collective way of thinking so that you can come up with real solutions. So yun ang kailangan. I think that's the key.
Yes, sir. That's the key. Salamat po.
Alright. Thank you, Ross. From the President of the Bloggers Association, Mr. Burr. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Sir Lenlen Reta, and I'm very happy to meet
Thank you.
This is my question. Kasi lahat nabanggit na. So I'm going to focus on sports, culture, arts, and related sa lifestyle. Ang tanong po, tungkol sa tourism, ano pong places na Malabon that you can offer sa mga friends namin na foreign counterparts na pwedeng bisitahin namin ang Malabon?
Actually, madaming mga lugar, no? Isa na dyan kung saan ako kinasal, yung San Bartolome Church, which is the oldest church in the city. It's 411 years old. Opo, kinasal ako doon, 400 years old pa lang yun. So, in fact, ano yan eh, meron pang kwento dyan sa Hook Balahap. Yung mag-a-atake sila, doon sila tago. So, may history talaga doon. Madaming makikita sa Malabon, but Malabon is known for its culinary heritage. Kaya po,
That's it.
Opo, kung mahilig kayo kumain, Malabon is one of the places to go to.
Alam mo, natatakang po ako dun sa inyong Malabon, Pansit Malabon. Kasi ngayon pa po siya compared with other cities. Kasi maraming ingredients, tapos may kasama pang kamachina yata yung bread. So, kung sakasakali po, may imbitahan niyo po ba yung mga vlogger na bisita para may-cover po yung magandang lugar ng Malabon?
Definitely.
Nagpupunan sa vlog namin.
Opo, talaga. I'll be happy to do it. I'll be happy to host it because I used to do that. And proud ako sa Luto Malabon.
Asap.
Asap. Sige po. Why not?
And then, kasi nalululong yung mga kabataan sa droga, sa lahat ng mga bisyo. Ano pong, kayo po ba tatanggapin yung committee sa sports para magkaroon po ng mga paligsahan doon, katulad ng volleyball, basketball, chess, boxing? Will you introduce that into your city?
Well, I'm a lover of sports. Kahit anong sport, no? Mahilig ako kasi sa sports, dahil sa sports, first you build camaraderie, you build teamwork. So, malaking bagay yun. And parang, ako hilig ko talaga basketball. Dati naglalaro pa po ako, eh. Tumanda na ako eh. So, mahina na yung katawan.
To say, makakapag-invite po yung city, intercity, na magkaroon ng sports activities sa Malabon?
Ay, tingin ko naman, pwede. Pwede naman. Bakit hindi? Opo. But kasi ang